Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
So the idea is that if I want to capitalize on expensive options, I can look at my price charts, I can identify clear support and resistance levels, I can create a debit spread to profit on the sale profit from the sale of the calls, and I could also sell the call credit spreads to and profit on those expensive option contracts. Now the question here, where does the name Iron Condor come from? Well, it really has to do with the risk graph of the option contract. So if I can just, I'll take a minute here and I'll just show you what I mean. When we're looking at a typical risk graph for, and hopefully you guys are able to see this, for any sort of a combination strategy. What we would be looking at for an Iron Condor is we'd be looking at the risk graph of a call credit spread, which would look at this maximum profit and maximum risk, and then it's combined with that of a put credit spread, in which case we would have maximum profit and maximum risk. Now the idea is that we reference these risk graphs with respect to the body of the trade. So in other words, these areas right here, and maybe I'll just use a different form of annotating here. These areas right here and right here are referred to as the wings, and this is referred to as the body. So to kind of reference another typical strategy, a butterfly has the same center point, and an iron butterfly would be where you're selling the same strikes. Now, an Iron Condor has a wider body, and that's simply where the name comes from. So hopefully that explains it a little bit for you there, Dave. These names a lot of times are just simply referencing the risk graphs and somebody's imagination with respect to their interpretation of what the graphs look like. So with that said, guys, what we need to consider is simply our objectives. So what strategy to look at applying here is based on our objectives. What are we trying to accomplish? Do we want to generate cash flow? Do we want to capitalize on a directional bias? If so, what is our directional bias? And then that being said, once again, are options expensive, or are options relatively inexpensive based on our particular outlook? What's our account size? We're not necessarily going to be an option writer, a naked writer, if we don't have the margin requirement, we don't meet the margin requirements, which means that rather than going in and selling those CDD calls and selling those CDD puts, we have to consider an alternative such as a credit spread. And finally, what is our risk tolerance? Once again, as we start to implement some of these spread strategies, we ultimately look at offsetting our risk exposure as well. So before you actually ever click the buttons and transact any of these strategies, you really need to sit down and figure out exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish. And you could use all of the information that we've talked about here tonight as a benchmark for determining what strategy might be most applicable to your current situation. So on that note, guys, just a reminder, the ISC's got some fantastic webinars coming up over the next month, and you can see here based on this platform, based on this particular slide here, that when the next dates are. And ultimately, I just want to remind everybody of this fxoptions.com site. It is absolutely phenomenal. I encourage everybody to that's interested in embracing the idea of trading the FX options market to check out this site. They've done a really great job at integrating some pretty cool tools, and it's just from a visual perspective is phenomenal. So on that note, Steve, I'm going to button things up here for this evening. Hopefully, you guys have found this as an informative session, and I look forward to joining you guys again sometime.
Jason, thank you very much. You did a wonderful job. I'm receiving some great comments already.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.